Alright class, this is the second to last lesson for Unit 1. So this is about graphing absolute value functions, okay? Again, when you see the absolute, when you see the word graph or graphing, just know that you can always use your graphing calculators to help you out with this part on the test or on the SOL. Alright, so let me get my graphing calculator here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to first, when we look at graphs, we know that I just love looking at graphs because we can look at the graph and we can analyze it, okay? So when we look at an absolute value, here's some fun facts about absolute value graphs. Remember that, just know that absolute value will be sometimes written as ABS, and this is how you can find it in your calculator. It's going to say ABS, and then it also makes a right angle at 0, 0, and this particular one, it makes a right angle, and it has a V shape, and it has the domain of negative infinity to positive infinity. So these keep going, but it goes from negative infinity to positive infinity. So when we have an absolute value in standard form, something like this, you have the absolute value symbol and you have your x, but then you have these different numbers, these three different numbers. So that's what we're going to look at. This a in front of the absolute value symbol, the number that's being multiplied, kind of like a coefficient, is the slope of the right side of the vertex. Alright, so the word vertex means this coordinate right here, and we're looking at the slope on the right side. See, it's going up, so we just say that there is the slope of the vertex, and comma hk is the vertex, the coordinate of the vertex. Okay, if this number in the front a is positive, we say it opens up. If the number in the front is negative, it opens down. Okay, alright, if this number is greater than 1, so it can be greater than positive 1, or it can be greater than negative 1. This number can be positive or negative, but as long as it's greater than 1, we say that this is a stretch. And then if it's a fraction, we call it a compression. Okay. The h, the number that's being added or subtracted here, is your horizontal shift. Meaning it tells you if it moves left or right. Okay. K is your vertical shift. It tells you if it moves up or down. Okay, now the horizontal shift, if it's a negative, it moves to the right. It kind of goes against your instinct, but it moves to the right. If it's a positive, it moves to the left. Here, if it's negative, it moves down. If it's positive, it moves up. And then h, this number, the h also tells you the line of symmetry. Okay, and then the way we write it is x equals h. Alright, so let's look at some examples. I just wanted to show you how do we graph these in our graphing calculators, and so that we can analyze them. So in your graphing calculator, we're going to go to y equals, clear whatever is there, and then we just want to put absolute value of x. So we're going to find the absolute value symbol, we have to go to math, numbers, and ABS, that's absolute value. And then we just put x, and we're going to graph this, and here's your absolute value symbol graph. So here the vertex here is 0, 0. I'm going to skip the slope. Line of symmetry is x equals 0. The line of symmetry is this line right. Is this line right here? Is whatever since the absolute value graph is symmetrical, left side is the same as the right, well, is a reflection of the right side. And then the horizontal shift, we say it didn't move left or right, didn't move up and down, okay? And that's what we're going to look at for now. Alright, the next example here, for absolute value of x minus 3 plus 1, so we're just going to graph it. Let's see if you can see that. Alright, for absolute value of x minus 3 plus 1, graph it. There you go. So the vertex here is 3, 1. The slope is, so notice I didn't write negative 3, it's positive 3 here. The line of symmetry is x equals 3. The horizontal shift is to the right, 3 units. The vertical shift is up 1 unit. Okay, and this is what I'm going to cover on this. Okay, so we have two other examples here, 3 and 4. 4 and actually, you have 3 other examples. 4 and 5 are negatives. Let me do my negative. Let me look at number 5. So you have negative. To get the fraction symbol in your calculator, it's here in this math menu, math. You can go to the fraction, and it's that one right there, 1/2. Absolute value, math, numbers, ABS, x plus 1, minus 3, we're going to graph it. You see how it's a negative, so it's pointing down, or it's opening down, I should say. And because of the 1/2, it's a compression, so it just gets, it's a wider graph. Alright, so the vertex here is, so you see how it moved to the left one? So the vertex here would be negative 1. You just have to take the opposite number here, comma, and then negative 3. It moved down 1, 2, 3. Okay. The line of symmetry is x equals negative 1 right here. The horizontal shift is left 1 unit. The vertical shift is down 3 units. Alright, let me know if you have any questions on this.